Hello, good people of YouTube. Mountbatten here, and today we have some balance changes from the developer blog. A link to this will, of course, be in the description down below if you wish to read along as I read aloud. As always, I will post any relevant images or artwork up during the video, but as you can tell by the title, we have some changes coming to three ships, the Hyuga, the Flint, and the Colombo. So let's go ahead and get on into these. So it says update 10.5 balance changes. Changes will be applied to the Hyuga, Flint, and Colombo. Having analyzed combat performance and taken player feedback into account, we've changed the characteristics of several ships. These changes were required in order to carefully adjust the balance of the mentioned warships. As usual, we'll monitor the impact of the changes in the general balance of the ships and apply changes if deemed necessary. So the Hyuga, the Tier 7 premium Japanese battleship. Main battery reload time increased from 28 to 29 seconds. Then the Flint, the Tier 7 premium American cruiser. Main battery firing range increased from 11.9 to 12.4 kilometers. And then the Colombo, main battery reload time reduced from 38 to 37 seconds. 180 turn time of the main battery turrets reduced from 40 to 38.3 seconds. Please note that all information in the development blog is preliminary. Announced adjustments and features may be changed multiple times during testing. The final information will be published on our game's website. Okay, so not a lot of major changes, but changes going in the right direction for, in my opinion, two of these three ships. Now, the big thing is that the Hyuga, which is a Tier 7 premium ship that it's not a reward ship. It's not a ship that you grind a mission or a series of combat missions out for. This is a ship that you outright pay money for, and they have just nerfed it not too long after its release. So, Hyuga's the second, I believe, outright premium ship that's not a copy paste of another ship that had the disclaimer in it, that had the disclaimer in it saying that if needed, balance changes will be applied to this ship in the premium shop. And a lot of people, when those disclaimers started popping up on premium ships, were like, "Oh, they've told you that they're going to nerf it in the future." And, you know, if you bought a ship before this, then they can't nerf it. That's not entirely true. They could always nerf and change premium ships. They've done it multiple times before with multiple other ships. It's just that they never told you in the shop because it's part of the EULA. In the EULA, if you actually go and read it, you're not buying the current version of the ship. You're paying kind of like a lease on that ship to play the current version of that ship. Meaning that whatever version is the most up-to-date, that's what you're paying to play, technically, in the EULA. The thing that you clicked, yes, I read, when you started playing this game. So, yeah, you've agreed to that. That's why you should probably read those things, too. Not in just World of Warships, but in anything that you're paying money for. You may want to skim through those things. But anyway, so the nerf to the Hyuga, is this a major change to it? No, I don't think so. Because I was surprised that with all the guns that the Hyuga has, she only had a 28-second reload time, and she got the reload booster on top of that. So that was a surprise to me. And not to mention that her guns are actually pretty darn consistent. If you haven't seen my Hyuga review, go check it out. It's a very, very, very good battleship. And it's surprisingly a good Japanese premium, because we don't really have too many of those hanging around. But yeah, the guns are really consistent. They hit nice and hard. You get the main battery reload booster, and now it's got a 29-second reload time. Is this where they will stop? I don't know. This could probably go up to like a 30-second reload time, and in my opinion, the ship would still be completely worth buying. I think that's where they will stop with these nerfs, because like we mentioned plenty of times before, Wargaming used to make very big changes at once. Now they've gone to making minute little changes over time to fine-tune the ships in, rather than having something be completely overpowered, then nerfed into the ground one patch, and then they have to find the middle ground in between. They do these gentle changes now, which is, I think, very good for the game overall. But yeah, Hyuga, not a big change, not a big detriment in my opinion to the ship. Still going to be a very fantastic battleship. The Flint. So this is a ship that many players were hoping they would see this trend continue. So the Flint is an Atlanta with smoke. So when the Commander rework went live, they didn't buff the range of the Flint. They kept it at 11.3, and you can't increase that anymore with the new Commander skills. But the Atlanta, they buffed her up to, I think, like 13.3 kilometers with her main battery guns, and the Flint's now up to 12.4. So probably by, I don't know, August, we'll have a 13-kilometer Flint, and then Flint captains can rejoice. Again, a ship that definitely needs to be put out to 13. I know that they said it has smokescreen, and if they were to make that argument like 2 years ago, I'd say, yeah, you know, it's got smoke, it can get a lot closer and chill a lot closer than the Atlanta can. But with the amount of radar and the matchmaking changes that have occurred, the Flint's up to it a lot more, so it sees a whole lot more radar, so it can't really utilize that smoke very much anymore, especially when it gets double up tiered. So I think that's a very good change there for the Flint, so Flint commanders rejoice. Alright, the Colombo. So this is interesting. I thought they were going to change the Colombo the same way they changed the lower tier Italian battleships, meaning that they improve their accuracy with their dispersion or their sigma. Now, a few of them, they did decrease the reload times, and it's interesting that they're doing that here with the Colombo. I can see that kind of because the thing does have 16 15-inch guns, so if you did increase the accuracy of the guns, you're of course making it easier to get those god shots, like I've done a couple of times with the Colombo when Deadeye was around, where you just remove like 30k from a ship's health in one shot with sap, because it's a cruiser and it showed you just enough of the ship to where your sap shells connect and arm and just remove its health in a single salvo. So I get why they don't really want to tone the accuracy up, because with sap you can only connect like 2 or 3 shells on a ship with 15-inch sap, and you can still do like 8k with just 2 shells connecting. So yeah, multiply that times 16 shells, you can see why they can't really crank the accuracy up too much more. Now, like I said, I have no doubt that the Italian battleships were 100% designed with Deadeye in mind, and after Deadeye got removed, we were going to see buffs like this, and lo and behold. So the reload buff is very good. I think they need to get the base reload time down to somewhere around 35-ish seconds, because right now, with the way that the Colombo is, you have to get so close with a main battery mod 3 build, the reload module, in order to get that 33-second reload time on those 16 15-inch guns, and it's kind of painful to play that close in today's World of Warships. Now, am I saying the thing's a sniper? No, I'm saying it's painful to be in a ship that's only really accurate from about 13 kilometers in at tier 10. And if you want to take the range mod, you're stuck with a 38-second reload time on 15-inch guns at tier 10 with the post-Deadeye accuracy of the Colombo. So saying it's painful is a little bit of an understatement. So I think if they get that base reload time down to 35 seconds, meaning that if you take the range mod, you have a 35-second reload time on 16 15-inch guns, I think that'll be the proper happy place for the Colombo. Because right now, again, 30-second reload time, but you got to be like 12 kilometers away from the target to actually hit it if you want that 30-second reload time. And even using the spotter plane, I mean, the accuracy at range just isn't there. And I get that. That's the entire point of the ship. But there's a point to where at tier 10, a battleship with a 12-kilometer sweet zone for most of the match isn't very useful. But even if you look at something like the GK, whose sweet zone's around that 13, 12, 14-ish kilometer range too, even with the big guns on the GK, you have a 32-second reload time to where you can land shots at 20 kilometers, or if you build for the spotter plane at 23, 24 kilometers every 32 seconds at least, where in the Colombo it's just not there. So yeah, it's a good change to the Colombo. I hope they get it down to around 35 seconds base. Now, the quicker reload time of the the quicker 180 time of the turrets, I don't think it really needed that. I mean, the rear turrets can 180. Can 360. So you don't really run into a situation where you're just kind of waiting for your guns to rotate. I mean, the base reload time is now the same as the 180 time, so it's not like you're going to be waiting for your turrets to turn. But it's a welcome change, and you know the ship is designed for close-in combat, so in those close-in combat situations, you do certainly need to have a quicker turret traverse there. So guys, let me know what you guys think about these changes in the comments down below. Again, the Hyuga, the first ship with that disclaimer to get outright nerfed not long after its release. I can tell you this, I am glad that they're doing this now rather than later. Because if they had done it later, you run into that situation like you did with the Thunderer, where the ship's been out for almost a full year, and then they decide to nerf it out of the blue. This way with the Hyuga, you know, it's only was released not that long ago, only a patch ago, and they're nerfing it right now. That way, you know, people in the future know that it's been nerfed and can see what the stats is, and don't really have to worry about the ship being nerfed, you know, 2 years from now. And like I've said before, I am very glad that they're open to changing premium ships after their release, because things happen, you know, testing can only cover so much, and if a ship gets released in a state that's not good for the game, where it's too strong, or the ship turns out to be too weak, they should be able to change that. And that's not really a rare thing. If you go look at the gaming world, that's pretty common in just about any game where you can buy something in multiplayer. It's open and subject to change. So this isn't something that Wargaming's doing just, you know, ooh, Wargaming bad, you know. It's something that just about every single company does that has an online game with an online experience. But anyway, guys, again, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel. We're on our way to 30,000 subs now. We just passed 26,200 a few days ago. I cannot thank you guys enough for that. I will be live streaming right here on the channel from about 5 p.m. U.S. Central Time to 8 p.m. U.S. Central Time tonight. So come check out the stream if you're interested in that. Again, guys, hope you're having a wonderful Friday, and hope you have a fantastic weekend. I hope to catch you guys in the next one.